What is going on, Cubs fam? We are back for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, my people. It is Halloween. All the hype for Halloween today, and I'm happy to announce I'm actually going to be streaming on YouTube tonight. First time for a while that we've been live on YouTube. We're going to be doing a Halloween stream. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to be dressed up for Halloween. I think you guys are going to want to come see my costume. That's going to be pretty late tonight, so it's Halloween. It's Saturday. We could do a late stream, right? So today we're going to be talking more about this Mandalorian content that is hitting the holo tables. There's a lot of hype around this. I'm feeling, especially with how great that first episode was. I hope you guys saw it. No spoilers. Don't worry. And Capital Games, to their credit, was making their rounds talking to other content creators about this stuff, notably with Operation Metaverse, with, let's see here, a Galactic War Report, of course, and also Swuggy Events. And they hosted a roundtable discussion. If you guys missed it, I got you. I got you covered. We're going to talk about 6 things from that conversation that I think are very important that you probably missed, especially if you did not actually watch this interview. I think you should. I'll leave links down below to it, but it's a bit lengthy, and so let me give you guys the Spark Notes right now. Now, the first thing that they talked about that I think we all need to be aware of, Capital Games highlighted how they really like to work in eras of Star Wars. And so obviously we've seen like a sequels era that has led us to the current Galactic Legends we've got. We saw a Clone Wars era that culminated in General Skywalker. We've seen lots of different eras explored, and they confirmed that they plan on exploring the Mandalorian era right now. And so that can safely lead us to assume that we're going to have more Mandalorian characters and more Mandalorian content outside of the characters that they revealed right now, of course, which is going to be Quill and IG-11. More on that later. They kind of gave a few teasers on where exactly that might be going, but I think we can buckle in and plan on quite a lot of Mandalorian content coming up next. Now, we've got 5 Mandalorian era characters now, and if you guys noticed, I think one of the big things I noticed is they don't have a tag, which I'm pretty disappointed in. I still think that's a miss by Capital Games to not have all of these characters under, kind of like the Rogue One characters all have the Rogue One tag, right? Why not have a Mandalorian TV show tag? Call it The Mandalorian. I don't know. Have them work together under that tag. Instead, we've got 5 characters that look like they're all going to slot into different squads. Mando and Greef Karga into a bounty hunter squad, Cara Dune into some rebel squads or scoundrel squads, and now we've got IG-11 and Quill, who are probably going to work in scoundrel squads as well. Capital Games did confirm, though, item number 2 on our list today, that all 5 of these characters will have synergy together. Remains to be seen how valuable that's going to be, and they actually talk about some other synergies that we'll get into in a little bit that leads me to believe that they don't intend these characters to work together. I think that's a bummer, but it's good to be aware of, and maybe there's going to be some more characters coming down the line that may unify them. Something else that they did allude to in their conversation is that there's one leader in particular they think makes that possible. Is that a leader we have in the game currently? I'm thinking maybe not. And so who could that leader possibly be? Maybe the synergy of these characters is going to be determined by later releases. So, number 3. This is really going in line with number 1, which is that they're staying with the Mandalorian era. It was strongly implied, basically stated, that we're going to get a legendary Mandalorian character. The devs said you can... The quote was, and I won't play the exact quote, you guys can go see it, but the quote was basically, you guys can probably figure out where this is going. Now, they're not going to say that if we're not building towards some kind of bigger release. Now, of course, the question is going to be, what is that bigger release going to be? And I've got some speculation. I think the most natural speculation is that we're going to have a Moff Gideon legendary event requiring these 5 characters. I actually think it could be bigger than that. That's probably the most likely scenario. But they also said, remember, item number 1 here is that they're going to be focusing on the Mandalorian era for the foreseeable future. The last era that we focused on, we got Galactic Legends as a result. So could we be building towards some kind of Galactic Legend? I think that's a bit of a stretch and probably requires a lot more characters. But after the reveal of, certain things in episode 2 or chapter 9, season 2 of The Mandalorian, maybe we could be going that direction. No spoilers, but for those of you who've seen it, you might know what I'm talking about. More likely than not, though, we'll start with legendaries and maybe build, depending on how long they want to spend in this era, maybe Galactic Legends. I do think a lot of us, when it comes to Galactic Legends, we want to have Galactic Legends from like the Clone Wars era, the prequels era, the original trilogy. So far, we've only got Galactic Legends from Disney-produced films. And so it would make sense to me that maybe Disney has a hand in that. And if that's the case, maybe Disney wants Mandalorian Galactic Legends too. Hey, I wouldn't stop them. If our next Galactic Legends, which are, gonna hopefully be at least 6 months away, give us some time, CG. If they're from The Mandalorian, I think I'm okay with that. I don't know about you guys. All right, number 4 on the list. Capital Games confirmed that Quill is going to work very well with L337 in particular, and then they also made mention of Kira Lead Mission and Zalbar. This is actually pretty exciting to me, even though I really want these characters to work together in a squad of 5. I already have my mission, my Zalbar, my Kira, my L3 farmed up pretty decently for Grand Arena. And so if Quill is going to be a plug-and-play character in that team to make that team viable again on defense, a lot of people aren't using their mission in Zalbar in defense anymore. It's just kind of phased out. This could be a revival of that defensive team in Grand Arena, and hey, I'm all about it. I'm all about it, especially maybe we throw IG-11 in there as well, and you've got a new team that doesn't require you to use, your Mando, your Grief, and your Kara. You just need to have those 2 new characters or even 1 new character to make them viable. And so, it's kind of like a trade-off, right? I mean, I want the 5 characters to work together. My fandom wants that to happen, but I can appreciate if I'm going to be able to use these characters somewhere that I've already been, I've been using characters here. I just need to make 1 sub and bring additional viability to these characters. Number 5, IG-11 was confirmed to have some of the highest health stats in this game. Now, if you look at his kit, tons of benefit from IG-11's max health. That's not just for him, but for the rest of his team. It was, I believe, Team Money who said that she was able to mod her IG-11 to 155,000 health, which gave us 2 interesting confirmations. Number 1, that's a lot of health for a non-Galactic Legend character. And number 2, sounds like test accounts are out in the wild again. And so it's awesome to hear that test accounts are out there. I want to bring tournaments back to this game, Capital Games. I'm not saying that I want a test account, but I'm also saying that I want a test account. So let's make it happen. Anyway, so IG-11 going to be very, very beefy. Obviously, we're going to want to mod him for lots of health. And I'm very curious, by the way, a little quick tangent. What happens when IG-11 dies? There's no way that Baby Yoda's just going to die, right? Come on, he's got to run away or something. I don't know. Or float away in his pram. All right. Number 6, and this is the final item on our list, and this is a bit of a bummer. Capital Games confirmed that there are no plans for Baby Yoda to come to the game as a standalone character. They also threw in there No Bill Burr's character. Now, this shows me a couple things, especially with Bill Burr. If they were going to be focusing on the existing season of Mandalorian, I should say season 1, we are on to season 2. Bill Burr's character would probably be a given, I think. It'd be one of the more popular choices from season 1. So this leads me to believe that what they've got planned in store is going to be season 2 focused. That kind of fits the bill with what we've normally seen for TV shows. Like, for example, when we got the Phoenix Squad, they gave us the most recent version of the Phoenix Squad characters, not the early seasons. We got the most recent season iteration of those characters. And so that would make sense if we do the same thing with Mandalorian. Also, it shows that we're not going to need to get too excited about Baby Yoda, which kind of narrows down who this potential legendary is going to be. I think a lot of people thought if we got a legendary character, maybe it would be a legendary Baby Yoda. Seems like that's not going to be the case. And so we can narrow it down to Moff Gideon, maybe a full Beskar armor version of Mandalorian, which I think would be absolutely dope, or other characters, if you know what I mean, those of you who are up to date. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what they do. I think if I were to guess, I think this is at least building up to a legendary character using the 5 characters we've got in game right now. I'm all about that, and I would really like to see it go beyond that. Maybe one legendary, get a bunch of other characters, and heck, if we built towards Galactic Legends from the Mandalorian era eventually, I would be fine with that. I think that there's a lot of cool things they could do with that, and there's probably a lot of other characters that are still coming in Season 2 that we don't know about, that we don't know anything about. So we'll have to wait and see, and who knows what information Capital Games has about Mandalorian Season 2. They obviously are going to be in communication directly with Lucasfilm. I know that they've been given early information on films prior. I would guess they had some information about Mandalorian Season 2. To what extent that reached, I don't know. We will have to wait and see. So, tell me what you guys are thinking about Mandalorian content coming. I think we can, at the end of the day, the biggest thing we can plan on is we got a lot of Mandalorian stuff coming down the pipeline. We got characters being released via Galactic Challenges. I think that's great. So, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Stream on YouTube tonight. First one in a long time. Happy Halloween to you guys. Be sure to come and check that out. And as always, my brothers, don't forget.